Max had just turned 7 when his parents brought him into my office. A bit of a temper, they said. Apparently, the boy had thrown a fit at school when he lost a game, and broke the nose of his competitor in a surge of rage as a result. The other child's parents had agreed not to demand his expulsion, if, and only if, they would get him help. And so they ended up contacting me. Now, I had worked with many kids with similar issues before, but somehow Max was especially, annoyingly, stubborn. There was no trauma here, just a child, spoiled rotten. It didn't help that his folks had little faith in therapy, only doing this to prevent having to change schools. I could smell their disdain when they shoved him in and returned to the waiting room. Still, I tried. I truly believed everyone deserved honest care, especially those young minds, but he seemed intent on making this as difficult as he possibly could. Regardless what I tried, his disrespect simply grew. I asked him if he wanted to tell me about the incident, and I just got a grunt. I asked him if he preferred drawing it, and he called it, and me, dumb. I asked him if he'd rather play a game, and he mumbled a clear bitch. Lastly, I asked him if he would instead prefer talking to Ted, the therapy doll. Sometimes speaking to him is better than speaking to an adult. I explained. You can tell him anything. Just remember, he hates being yelled at. To anyone else it would sound like a trick to encourage them to communicate calmly. I knew better though. Unfortunately, that set him off completely, grabbing onto the puppet, screaming and shouting, roaring and shrieking, both incomprehensible sounds and swear words a child his age definitely should not know, simply because he was given one limitation. Better not yell at him, I reminded him with a subtle urgency, but, to no avail. It would take another 20 minutes for his parents to take him away, loudly airing their grievances whilst doing so. At this point it didn't bother me anymore though. I knew their fate was sealed. A mere 20 hours later I saw Max's chubby face in the news. Family of 3 attacked in their own home. 7-year-old is the sole survivor. They described the worrying scene in detail. How Mr. and Ms. Jackson were found butchered. How Max's vocal cords had been irrevocably damaged and he was lucky to be alive. Adding that the boy had written the word doll over and over again. Shock. Apparently. I knew the truth. I always took Ted with me. At least he'll be quiet now, I muttered, looking at the doll, but I do wish you could actually do some of the dirty work. You see, therapy dolls hate being yelled at, and so do I.